Do you like what you do, and what drives you to do what you do?
Oh my God. I love what I do. I am so lucky. I am so lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. In so many ways. I'm lucky in my private life. I'm lucky in my professional life. I love what I do. I love designing clothes. I love building things. I love building a business, building a brand, and I love making films. It's the most exciting thing. It's the most fun I've ever had in my life. So yes, I love what I do.
As a film director, how do you enjoy your freedom, total freedom and total control of your work? Has it always been like this, even in your fashion designer world?
It has. You know, I've learned a long time ago that I produce my best work when I have complete freedom. It was the reason that I left my position at Gucci in 2004. I wasn't going to have that freedom anymore. And it's the reason I think that I love making films. I have the good luck, good fortune to be independent and to allow a certain singular vision and singular expression. Although, I'm also very collaborative. You have great people around you who help you realize your vision. But yeah.
That's a very funny question for me, at
least. It's a strange question to ask because I had to start thinking, well, what is the answer to that question? But yeah, I'm someone who works better when I do have the freedom to use my intuition when creating something.
Talking about the film, obviously it was your deliberate choice not to show so much violence, but just keep it psychologically. Are you scared of violence, to show violence?
I hate violence, which may be surprising watching this film. But the violence in this film is fictional, because we're reading a fictional book, then being seen through the eyes of the woman who's reading the book, and it is violent for a purpose. The inner novel is her ex-husband telling her what she did to him, what the pain of that was. And we as an audience need to feel that pain because that is what the entire story hinges on. So it was important. But I hate violence. It's so funny. Nudity seems to be forbidden in our culture, but film and everything today is violent and graphically violent. So no, I'm not a violent person, even though this film does have a certain very visceral scene, which is somewhat violent.
How did you know the book? Did you read that before, or somebody suggest that to you?
No, a friend of mine in London suggested that I read the book, and I loved the book. It was an absolute beautiful book, page-turner, and so I optioned it. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to make it cinematic and to bring it to the screen, because it's an inner monologue. So I had to make quite a lot of alterations to the story to make it work on film. But I think that I kept the central theme, which is find someone in your life, find people in your life who are important to you and hang on to them. Don't throw them away. Don't toss them away.
Just a tiny little question about your female character. They seems to have all red hair.
It's interesting everyone asks that. I didn't actually realize that I had a thing for redheads, but clearly I do. However, in this case, whoever I had cast in that role, all the other characters would have needed to look like them because that's part of the story. And Amy does have red hair. But I have to say, I love redheads, Julianne Moore as well. And I think they're also very cinematic, so beautiful in terms of just color on film. But yeah, I think I do have a thing for redheads.